single step, I'm becoming who I'm meant to be. Focused on my path, I'm the one, I'm the key. Living on my dreams.
Okay, good evening. Happy Friday. Alrighty, so we talked last week about sometimes you just need to write it out. And by write it out, I mean if you need to write that letter to that person who hurt you, to that person you hurt, to that person you want to thank, whatever it is, even if that's yourself. And so today, well, actually yesterday, I decided to take my own advice and begin to write a letter to myself. And the reason I decided to do this because I've been in a place. I've been struggling to understand how to fully walk into my purpose. Like, what am I doing? How do I do this? How do I stay consistent? Like, this doesn't feel natural to me. And I felt like writing a letter to myself, reminding me of what I've done in the last few years when I have been in times of uncertainty and where I am now. So we're just gonna get into it, and I'm gonna start sharing. So here we go. Again, I started writing this yesterday, but I completed today. Alrighty. Dear Mimi, I want to start off by saying that I am proud of you. I am so glad that you are doing your work. I am taking time to remind you of how far you have come because I realize the type of woman you are. Oftentimes you forget to give yourself grace, which is ironic because you are able to give it to others. 2 years ago, month to date, your divorce was final and you closed on the sale of your home. And although both of those events were freeing, you were still confined to people-pleasing, overextending, putting others before yourself, distracted with what could be versus what is, improperly grieving, and holding on to things that no longer suited you. But girlfriend, it didn't take you long to start snapping out of it. You began to seek out therapy because you wanted to sort these things out. In the interim, you were also falling in love with someone. It felt good, but it also felt a bit complicated. I'll write you a different letter about that. You finally decided to start writing your book, but being you didn't know where to begin, God blessed you with a person who too had wrote a book. You took time to read it, and his story was touching, inspirational, and gave you the opportunity to learn so much about him. He shared the publishing company that he used, and you began the process with them as well. Not only did you begin that process, but you started to build your life coaching business, Power of Purpose. Most people don't know that your first thoughts are rarely about how do you do for yourself, but what can you do to help others. This life coaching business was derived to help women identify their purpose, walk in it, and know the power of it. You poured into building out your website and marketing materials. You were blessed with a few clients at the onset, but you struggled with juggling decisions to be made about what's next in your move, building it out, as well as continuing with your consulting business. As you were trying to gain traction, you decided to maybe merge the two of helping others and your coaching business by starting a recruiting boot camp. This was to help others learn to recruit. You had a few paid clients that you certainly undercharged for, but in order to help them, you also had them assist you in finding an executive assistant because your consulting business was continuing to grow and you really were trying to lean into your passion projects, which was your book and life coaching. As you were continuing to figure those things out, your lease was ending soon and you needed to figure out where you were going to live. Your heart was disconnected from Atlanta and Dallas just seemed too comfortable to go back to. Therefore, you decided on Houston, a place where you had long sought after. The last few months that you were spending on rent, you were determined to buy. A couple of traumatic events happened that made you start beginning to sway your decision if you should stay in Atlanta or move to Houston. Ultimately, you decided to move and purchase your first home on your own. That process went everything but smooth, making you question if you made the right decision. The month of your scheduled move to Houston, you lost one of your closest friends in Atlanta, LaShondra Stansel. After literally talking to her the night before, it was devastating. Thankful to your growth, you were able to grieve it better as you were already learning how to grieve the loss of so many of your other loved ones through the therapy that you had sought out. Although you were grieving better, it still very much hurt. You really felt like God knew he was going to take your friend from you. So now leaving Atlanta seemed like it was certainly a good decision. You knew that you would miss your nephews and friends and your love interests, but also knew that you had to choose you. Now you are here in Houston, and girl, you are doing it. February is full of milestones, so it's only appropriate that I'm writing you this letter. This month marks 5 years since you started your consulting business. Although you started in 2019, there were some setbacks, including COVID. However, since 2022, you've been 100% in your entrepreneur bag. Your company has brought in over $2 million in revenue. You have been able to provide employment to young women and men, and at some points you were literally their only lifeline. Additionally, you have mentored several young women who are now flourishing in their recruiter roles or other career opportunities. And I know this warms your soul, and you are yearning to do so much more. I advise you to trust the journey. When I look at you now, I see so much growth. Of course, there is still work to be done. I'm so happy that you decided towards the end of 2024 to really lean into your relationship with God. And you have truly learned to let go and give it to him. 2025 so far has been about discipline and making sure to work on yourself every single day. And sis, it has not gone unnoticed. You are still working on not getting discouraged because these things aren't going at your pace, but you are trusting his timing and continuing to do the work. I like how you are reintroducing yourself to this world as Shami. Mimi had her place in this world and even marked it, but Shami is about to take this journey to God's level. I'm smiling with such joy and belief in my heart because you are destined for greatness. And I know you are going to take so many with you. Keep soaring, baby girl. I love you. And again, I am so proud of you. Shami. So as I said, you all, I started writing this letter yesterday, just wanting to encourage myself, you know what I mean? And I was sharing with Tavares that I had to come do this video, and you know, I still don't feel like this is something that comes natural to me. I don't feel like it's what I'm best at. And he said, it's because you still haven't brought it full circle. He was like, what do you do? Well, you already have proof in the pudding of, you know, connecting people to people, you know, recruiting, you know, bringing people together, mentoring, etc. And y'all, the light bulb went off. And I also said it to myself in this letter that my purpose is to do so much more. I wake up in the morning thinking about how can I help others. So I'm going to start just applying that to this channel, to this social media, and just do what comes natural to me. And my question every single day is, how can I connect you to your purpose? What can I do to help? Whether that's introducing you to someone, because I know people that know people that know people, whether that's helping you find a job, whether that's helping you with your business idea, whether that's, you know, giving you some insight on traveling, what restaurant to go to, things about motherhood. We can just share, we can, you know, love and light, whatever it is that I can help you with. And this isn't about money. This isn't about anything but doing what I am designed to do, what I was put on this world to do. Spread love and light and help those in need. And whatever that need is, nothing too big, nothing too small. And I am going to fully lean into my purpose. And then this won't feel so big to me, because I'm going to just do what I do well. And I know that I am going to touch someone. I know that I'm going to help someone. And if I can just touch somebody every single day in some way, I am doing what God has asked me to do. So, I'm your purpose dealer, Shamee Hargrove, and we're going to continue to lean into the power of purpose. Let's grow. Good night.
I'm the one, I'm the king, living on my dreams.